Welcome to MortalTales, where tales are told by mortals. I am your host, Mortalmen. I am joined by the blind prophet. Man, that's a beautiful,
The
beautiful
blind prophet.
The blind prophet, and I'm joined by Salty Rootbeer. Today we're going to be discussing choice-based games ranging from The Walking Dead, all the Telltale games, Until Dawn, and all of that. So we're gonna be talking about that stuff. When you guys think about Telltale or choice-based games, like what comes to mind? You feel? What comes to mind?
I don't like them personally. I get why people would.
For me, basically what comes to mind is like when I was younger, I would read a lot of like choice-based books, and
Yes.
so that's very similar. It's just a game, but for me, I feel Telltale executes this very poorly because no matter what you do, you pretty much always get the same ending. That's where I had brought up earlier, like Until Dawn, I feel executes this the best because like there's so many endings, there's so many possibilities. You could kill everybody, or you could come out clean with everybody. You could have a certain few people that stay alive. Like it's really crucial how you play. And it has Peter Stormare, so how can you go wrong with that? But
Yeah, dude.
um,
Like the Walking Dead final season, like spoiler alert, but so the ending that everybody has, it's like basically, like no matter what you do, no matter how many dialogues, no matter like the way it's set up, like the episode itself, it's really good story, but the way it ends and how the story is made, it's like you would think logically by the dialogue and the choices you make, you'd get a different ending. You don't like you guys care if I tell you what happens?
no, I don't care.
All right, you don't care. Okay, so basically, the leader of
Wait,
this.
wait. Salty didn't say anything.
I don't have much to say. I
But
prefer.
do you care if he spoils it?
Oh no,
Okay, all right.
no, I don't care. I don't care at all. I haven't played any of the Walking Dead episodes to actually catch up. I'd have to go through hours of stuff that I actually don't care that much
Or just
about.
hours of like Rad Brats playthroughs.
Get it?
Let's do it.
I just don't care.
We
man.
love all sport.
I was watching his Happy Few freaking game. That was the first thing I hear that you guys getting me this far.
We could get like 50,000 likes. It'd be awesome. Let's do this.
When I made it this far, fine of you. Let's get it.
Let's get into it.
Sounds excited. I've never watched the guy, but he sounds like he's uncontrollably excited.
He sounds like he's recording the whole time, just smiling.
Yeah.
Like the posters
Sounds
for We
like
Happy Few. He looks like he's the main guy on the
Hello.
poster, like just
Hello,
constantly
Sam.
smiling.
Oh, you know that really creepy YouTuber that like dissected the gummy rat?
The gummy rat?
No.
Ah, shit. I don't remember the name of the YouTuber. But I can't do his voice either. I wouldn't be able to do it justice, and it would sound too weird. Well, like there's this guy with this really high-pitched voice that always sounds happy,
Uh-huh.
and he's just fucking weird.
Yeah, I have no
Like,
idea.
He probably murders kids weird. Like that's just sounds like it.
Oh my god.
All right, but as you were saying, Mortalmen, the
Yeah.
ending to The Walking Dead.
I forgot his name, but like okay, so basically, like he's a good leader. You know, he does what's best. But all keep this in mind, they're all teenagers, they're all kids. They know what they're doing, and so basically, how it leads up. You and AJ, the kid you're taking care of, you guys meet up with this one guy who confronts you, right? And you have a choice to either kill him by feeding him to the walkers, or just let him take your stuff. And basically how it played out, one of the main people at the camp found out that you met with this person and they have interactions with this person before, right? And so she started freaking out. So the leader of the camp took her under the basement to talk to her, and then when you sneak in to talk to her, and then she spills some like hardcore like secret stuff, and then this dude takes a flashlight and bashes her head in, and he's like, "Oh my god, I didn't mean it." But then I would be thinking like, okay, so like maybe if you fed him to the zombies, that's what happened. No, you feed him to the zombies. AJ's like, "Oh yeah, we killed a guy," and then she just notices that guy. Like, was it a bandit? I don't know. Dead. Like what?
It's like an important person to the plot dies, and someone else important to the plot doesn't actually like register.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
It's so stupid. Like your choices and your dialogue, like it doesn't even change anything. Like literally, all it changes is like
Like one line of dialogue.
yeah,
slightly.
basically. Like in the beginning of the game, like you tell him these rules and stuff, right? And he was like, when he finds bullets, he's like, oh, what do you what's the rule or whatever, and basically what you say is basically dialogue for the end of the game. If you tell him always aim for the head when he shoots the guy for no reason, aim for the head. Like that's all it changes. It's ridiculous. It's like I was thinking of like so many ways I could change like to make, because like they implemented, okay, so Batman, what they did is character, like you can actually change the outcome of characters, I believe so, as I remember. And like you had your status of everybody. The Walking Dead did that, but it's not status of like their outcome. Like no matter what, these two people are gonna die. All that changes is, does this person like you? Does this person hate you?
So the way that Telltale reminds me of how they do their choices reminds me a lot of when Modern Warfare 2 came out, and you're playing the end of Modern Warfare 2, and you have the choice to throw the knife at what was his name?
That was a choice?
Shepard. Well, yeah, you it like it tells you to throw it, but like you have the choice of where to throw it, like your hands moving, and like you could always aim anywhere, but no matter what, it always hit his eye.
Oh yeah.
So like that's what Telltale reminds me of, is like you have the choice to do whatever you want, but no matter what, you're always gonna get to that certain ending.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where like I don't know who it is that made Until Dawn. I don't know their company name or whatever. Game. I was just about to bring that up. They're making the Man of Medan, the Dark Pictures anthology.
Yeah.
The rendering on the trailer that they did looked really poor, but
it looked horrible. Like the thumbnails, like what the hell is this?
It still looked really cool, like, and I think that's what's cool about their games is there is no main character. There's a cast of characters that can, so far what we know from Until Dawn, like any of them can go out. So you're not really expecting anything. Like when we play as Clementine, like we pretty much know, like, okay, she's probably safe because we're playing as Clementine. When you see what do you call it, the first one, you know, that doesn't really hold up because Lee dies at the end, but still, like there's a certain amount of people that are safe, whereas with the Until Dawn, like no one was really safe. So
yeah,
I think that's where I think that's the direction of a choice-based game should be, is like every choice matters, like every dialogue choice, everything matters to the end result, which Until Dawn, you know, really holds up to that.
Yeah, and like I understand that like these games, like they need to make a plot, right? Like with Until Dawn, the beginning, like when the two sisters died, right? Like no matter what you did, they die no matter what. That's fine, just that one part, so you have the story. Like what if you?
Yeah, but I mean that's the beginning. That's,
exactly.
That's different, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine, but like
there's a problem with choice-based games like this, where like the gameplay is you picking things that happen, and then like trying to press some sort of plot, like, hey, it's gonna end like this. It's like a bad adventure book. Like if you make a story-based, you know, choice-based game where the gameplay is the choice making itself, like a Telltale game or Until Dawn, then you have to like, you can't be lazy with it, because stuff like that takes away from the immersion. It's like reading a book and then having a character die, and then that character is just completely retconned later on, like taken from the story.
Yeah.
An important character just never is mentioned ever again. Like, say, for the first half of the book, the main character, he's really close with this other guy. Like, they're best friends. And the guy's friend, he dies brutally. He gets, like, shot in the face. And he sees his friend die. And then for the last half of the story, his friend isn't mentioned at all, like not once, and like his name doesn't show up anywhere. It's like that.
It's lazy writing. That
it is lazy writing. It takes you out of the story. It's like a shell shock. It just like punches you in the face and says, "Hey, this is a story. This isn't what you're doing here. Doesn't have anything to do with the outcome."
Well, actually, I would make the argument that Telltale actually does really well with what you're trying to say. Like there's certain times that Clementine will remember Lee, or even what's his name, the like hillbilly guy
Kenny?
that had the son. Kenny.
With the way with what I know, and I'm not claiming to be an expert on Telltale games because I've never played any of them. I've seen a couple of YouTubers play a couple of them. I've seen, you know, like The Wolf Among Us, which is a really cool.
Oh yeah, well no, I only make that
But
argument with The Walking Dead because that's like their longest running one.
But with that, like, isn't Lee supposed to die? Isn't that like a guaranteed thing that happens?
Exactly, that's always the end result.
That is
whether
always
you
the
leave
end
him or
result.
shoot him.
I'm talking about characters that aren't meant to die that can die. Like little side characters. Like my example might have been a little off.
Yeah, I think like the characters that are side, but like in the Telltale game, like if you can actually fuck up to the point where they're dead, they're out the story.
Like Herschel's son that you could either save rather than duck.
I mean, he dies no matter what.
But that's exactly what like Salty's saying is like him. You never hear about him through the rest of the game or anything.
You hear him like later, but like that's the only time. Like after that.
Which you think would be sort of traumatizing towards Clementine because that's like one of the first people that like dies in front of her besides her babysitter.
I'm not like saying all of the characters that die aren't ever mentioned. I'm just talking about like the ones that should be important. Like some of the ones that are important, they're just not talked about. You know, I've never played a Telltale game. I've seen some, but I've never played any, so I'm not claiming to like know anything. But like from what I'm hearing, it just seems like it drops some parts of the plot, like some things that happen, some characters that die or go away for some reason or another. It seems like sometimes a character that should be at least mentioned.
Yeah, I think another one that kind of makes itself a choice-based game, but it really, when you look at it, it's not is like we said, Life is Strange. The thing with that, I feel like it's choice-based, but your choices kind of elongate the plot. Like you can choose, I'll either go into this room and check something out or not. Like, you know, there's really nothing that...
Well, I mean, no matter what choices you make at the end of the game, you still only have those two choices that actually matter.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I feel like more games should take the time to be like Until Dawn rather than...
Exactly.
Because I feel like that one, along with that too, like it has the highest replayability. You know, if you play like the Walking Dead again, like you might hear some different dialogue or something, but you're gonna get the same ending. Whereas this one, the Until Dawn, like I've watched like maybe 5 or 10 YouTube videos that just like it's always something different.
You know, from what I know about that game, you could do 5 or 10 full playthroughs and not get everything.
Yeah.
There's like so many. It's
so
more than 10 because like you can have everybody alive, everybody dead, a group of people alive, or you can like each person has like their own sole survivor like kind of ending too.
And I would think too that because the graphics of that game are like really, really good, I would think that game would have the style of The Walking Dead where like it doesn't matter. You always get to the same ending because of how long those graphics must have taken to render. Whereas a game like The Walking Dead, I don't know how that style works, but I would feel like that would be a much easier and simpler style than how they went with Until Dawn, because like they look like the actors, and sometimes it's like really hard to distinguish them from the real life counterparts.
They did full motion capture and everything, and then like they made it look like it was like a real life horror, like a horror movie you'd see in
exactly. So it must not, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not hard, but it must not be too much harder than a game like Telltale where like they can't adapt that style.
Yeah, I agree. I think like the one thing that I can remember that pissed me off was the ending of the Walking Dead season 2, right? So like just say for example, like you play a game, right? And like say like here are the endings. Either the guy, your best friend who's been looking after you, he can live and come with you, or some random chick can live or come with you, or you can be alone. And how that works is you either kill one or let the other one kill each other. But say no matter who you save, right? The next season they will make some retarded way to kill that person off.
That makes sense.
Like the Walking Dead season 2, like the hillbilly Kenny and I think her name is it's not Molly, but it's something, right? So like they got into a fight, and basically how it is, you can either have let Kenny kill her, which will leave you with Kenny, or you can let Jane kill Kenny. And basically, no matter what you do, season 3, she has flashbacks where they just get killed off. Like Kenny, like they get in a car accident. Kenny.
Oh yeah, the car accident.
So it retcons
that ending and that playability with the ending.
Yeah,
that is. No.
So everybody's on the same page.
Which sucks because I remember when they first announced this. Was it season 3? Season 3 or episode 3. I don't know what they call it. When they announced it, they said that the ending would follow through to the next game, and then I saw those.
It's just flashbacks.
It's just little flashbacks, and Kenny dies, and you're on your own, and isn't that's the one? That's the one where the beginning is. Oh no, that's the second one. I was gonna say that's the one where the beginning is with the pregnant lady and the husband. They get killed.
That's season 2.
But no, that's. That's season 2.
It's so stupid because the way they die, it's so retarded. Like if you let Kenny live.
But there you go. There's another example. Those people that you were with, they get killed off.
Molly, apparently not Molly, Jane, at some point she had sex with one of the main characters, right? And so basically, if she doesn't get killed, basically she finds out she's pregnant, she hangs herself.
Wow. Yeah, I've played very little of them because the first one really killed it for me. It's like no matter what you did, it always turned out the same. And then I tried to play through the 3rd season, and that's when I saw because I had watched Radbrad's playthrough of the 2nd season, so I was like, oh okay, let me see about the 3rd season, since the ending would and they said that you didn't even need to play the 2nd season for that. You just pick which ending that you would have gotten.
You don't even need to play for the 4th season. There's only out of the 3 seasons that you play before the final season, right? Guess how many choices mattered out of the 3 seasons?
How many?
4 or 3. Out of all the countless choices you made, 3 or 4 mattered.
Yeah, I think honestly, if they went with a route that was like The Last of Us, where it was just a full story and not so much choice, I think it would have been a lot better. Because the story has always been Clementine. It's the growth of Clementine through this world. So very much similar to how we're seeing pretty much the growth of Ellie in The Last of Us. So if they would have just went with that would have been cool. Just a full story, because that's all it really is. You could pick a few dialogue choices, or you can choose to do something else. But at the end of the day, homeboy's getting eaten in that little, cannibal house, and Lee still dies, and Kenny and Jane, they still die, and you're still in the same boat no matter what.
Yeah, basically, it's just I like it. I like the story. That's just the one thing that why be choice based, where it's your outcome, your actual outcome is so little. It's so little creativity. It's you go if you literally pick the opposite of all your choices, you would still be at the end with that one choice at the end, season 1. Basically out of all your choices, you can either have an arm or you don't have an arm. That's basically the only difference when you get to the choice, if you're shot or not. That's really the only difference. You got an arm,
which I thought was really cool, because that's totally a reference to Rick in the actual Walking Dead comics, because he loses his arm by the governor.
Really?
So I was like, oh my god, this is so dope. They're kind of paying homage, but it's just little stuff like that really doesn't make a difference, because again, you still come to the end where she either leaves him to turn, or you kill him. And I think what would be really cool is oh no, you don't leave him. Wait, does he turn or does he shoot himself? I can't remember.
What do you mean?
I think it's either you shoot him or he...
Yeah, it's either Clementine shoots him or you just leave him there to turn.
Okay, what would be cool is if the next season that they do is you see him if you let him turn.
You're definitely gonna see him the final season, because one of the choices that mattered was that choice.
Really? Oh, okay. So the episodes aren't done yet, right?
No. The first one came out.
That would be awesome. Is if he came back. Yeah.
As a zombie.
Yeah, but again, like that's such a small little detail. It'd pretty much just be a cameo, you know. So
that'd be crazy if,
well,
if you didn't let him.
Like an extra.
You what?
Like an extra, like in the Walking Dead show, like just like he shows up as one of the zombies and he just gets killed.
I would be disappointed with that. That'd be super. I'd want like a full on like Clementine recognizes him. Like he'd be super decomposed at this point, but still like something, maybe like a, I don't know, fucking watch or something, like just something that she recognizes and she's like, she has to put him down. Like it comes back full circle. Like she didn't put him down. Now she has to.
Yeah, I could see that. What's it called? Actually, I think the season that just happened, The Walking Dead 3, I think that they got, like, people didn't like the story, but I think they got better with their choices because, like, half of the choices they mattered like towards the end, and half of the choices the same stuff happened. Like it was stupid. Like what's it called? Like it's one of the most annoying things, right? So these two people, Trip and Ava, right? So you have a choice to save either one of them, right? Mm-hmm. So say if you say I want to save Ava, they say all right, they shoot Ava. You say I want to save Trip, they shoot Trip. So say whoever you save, right? So say I said save Ava, they kill Ava, and I have Trip with me, right? So you're like, all right, fine, you know, I'm with him. We escape together, right? You guys are just crossing a bridge. Everybody crosses by safely, and then out of nowhere, when they start crossing that bridge, two walkers just come out of nowhere and drag them down. Boom, they're dead. What? What was the point of me saving them?
What?
It was
another thing too that I don't know if you're gonna count it, but what about like choices within like RPGs? Like let's get into Cyberpunk. Like, do you think that'll be something that'll, because it's a full-fledged RPG and RPGs like The Witcher and stuff, they've shown that not that the choices change the story, but the choices change your experience. Like you could have different intimate relationships with some of the characters, or even that's what they're saying they're going to do in Assassin's Creed Odyssey is like different. You could even have like a, you know, same-sex relationship or anything like that. Is that something that you're counting as long with this conversation?
I guess you can count it because it's a choice.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's your like it, like it's not like it's a fake story. It's like you actually have like a decision to make, like in relationships or like how your experience is, and yeah, you can definitely count that as a choice.
Yeah, because something really interesting that they showed in Odyssey in one of the gameplays was that you're helping this doctor, and he needs some notebook. Well, you go to find it, and the guy who should have known where the notebook's at, he tells you that it's like discarded, but he memorized it. So you can either knock him out and take him, or wait for him to finish with his patient and take him, or I think kill the patient. Like you have three different choices, and they all matter towards like getting him over to the doctor that you were trying to help out. So then you bring him to the doctor, and like the one that they showed is that you knock him out. Well, then he's like, yeah, you know, your patient is saved, but mine isn't, like something like that. And so the doctor's like, oh, you knocked him out or something. Like it was kind of like one of those moments like Clementine. We'll remember that, like just something like that. So I think Odyssey will have a pretty in-depth kind of choice system, given that little piece of gameplay.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen the gameplay. I haven't seen the gameplay for Cyberpunk 2077. Like when I saw that it was gonna have choices and like dialogue decisions, I was like, that seems pretty cool because it's like first person. Like it's an open world. They say it's an RPG with first person mechanics, so it's like mainly focused on
like I said, it
sounds like it would be fun actually.
Yeah, like I say, I just started watching the first 2 minutes before you rang me up. So once we're done with this, I'm definitely gonna watch. It's like a 45-minute or something. I'll even link it in the Discord.
Don't know, watch it. Sheesh.
But
we watched some of that too.
Yeah, or even what's the other one? There's another one that came out that has choices like that, or not. It's Red Dead. Like, you know how Red Dead has the choice to they showed that you have the choice to like diffuse a situation, or like kill the witnesses or stuff like that. Like that seems like that'll be pretty cool as far as a dynamic, because being that you're in that little gang, maybe it'll, because they say that the areas are based on the little camps you set up.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if you like let a certain witness like live, and you don't intimidate them enough or something, they still come back, and now you have to move camp again. Like I don't know, something like that. But they show that there's a pretty crazy choice system in that as well.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of these games want to be choice based. Like if like it shouldn't be that hard. Like as long as like you actually have some like it matters. Like it's not like
I wouldn't say they want to be choice based. I think they just want it to feel as real as possible. Like
yeah, that's what I mean.
like yeah, you got done robbing this little thing. Like if there's a witness, like yeah, why would you just run away? Like intimidate him or kill him, or it's not like these games where like in Assassin's Creed you can't kill civilians. Like it's like that doesn't feel real. That doesn't feel like I have that full flexibility to just if I want to, like, hey, I'm gonna slit your throat. Like, this one feels like what they're doing, it feels like it'll feel like a more real interaction with these people.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna feel like they're NPCs anymore. It's gonna feel like they're people,
Yeah.
So I think that's what's really cool about them implementing that sort of decision making.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I think the best open world game that I've played, like the best in my opinion, is it's called, you probably heard of it, Sleeping Dogs. I feel like I feel like it's the best open world that I've played.
Nope.
So
I'm gonna make the decision for you. It's actually Horizon Zero Dawn.
No. No, it's not.
Yeah, it
it's really not.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
My guy,
it is.
If you want to progress through the story and you don't got fast travel, you're gonna do a lot of running.
Hey, that's fine. The game is beautiful.
Hey, screw
there's a lot of people that actually prefer that, Marcus.
Shut up. There's a lot of people that prefer a lot of things.
No, that was one of the reasons. Like, okay, so you guys are aware of the Elder Scrolls series, right?
No.
Yeah, I never played it though. I've never been into like high fantasy like that.
Oh, okay. So, I'll give you an example. Okay, so the third game in the series, Morrowind, was the first truly 3D game in the series, and it was like a really weird world, and all that. But like, part of the appeal to it was a very smaller world, but it was more condensed, and it just felt like there was like more space because you were continually running and doing stuff from point A to point B. You weren't just like clicking on a map and deciding where to go. Like, I don't know. There's pros and cons for the both of them.
Well, yeah, and I think with Horizon Zero Dawn, there you go. Is
it's like a case of immersion,
If we're talking about choice based, I think not so much as a mechanic, but also as a play style, you have the choice to, if you're running and you're not fast traveling, there's people that you'll run across that start side missions. So
That's
like I say, not so much as
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, is not so much as a mechanic in the game to make that choice, like, oh, I'm gonna either help this person or kill them. Like you have the player's choice to be like, oh, there's this person over here, let me see what they want.
Sleeping Dogs has that too. There's favorites.
Yeah, but no one cares about.
What are you talking about? A lot of people say that Sleeping Dogs.
I'm
is better
sleeping
than
on that
GTA
game.
5.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
your fault.
Dude,
you know how good that is? Is Horizon Zero Dawn getting a movie? No. Is Sleeping Dogs getting a movie? Hell yeah, brother.
Am I gonna go watch the movie?
Yeah.
No. No.
That's your loss. While you're walking around, I'm gonna be fast traveling in a movie theater.
Shoot.
Come and get a 10,000 likes for fast travel. Fast travel.
Can I get a super large popcorn? With all the Coke.
Extra butter. Let's get it.
Let's do this. Yeah, I haven't played Sleeping Dogs. But is that so? That one, does that have choices too?
No.
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 Yeah, because I think Horizon Zero Dawn doesn't really have choices. It just has dialogue choices, like how deep into the dialogue you can get.
Do you want to be an asshole or do you want to be loving?
Huh?
It's like, do you want to be a jerk or not? Like with the dialogue.
What are you talking about?
Like you could choose to be like you get 3 dialogue choices. It's like
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you have the heart like to be
kind.
kind, and then you have the brain to be like stern and like logical, and then you have the fist for like just being like
A jerk.
not so much a jerk, but like just well, I said stern, but that should have been it. Is like the fist for like stern and like no, like hard, and I guess a jerk, but like I don't think Aloy really meant to be a jerk if she ever used that.
Yeah.
It was more so just like no, like I'm gonna be like brutal, like brutal truth or something like that.
Brutally honest.
Yeah, brutally honest or something like that.
I get what you mean. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn was a good game. It was just annoying to the point where I had to like run for 15 minutes and there's like literally nothing around me, like no missions or anything. Like it got to that point where I was like, there's nothing around me. I was like, what the hell? There's just trees everywhere, bro. I've been looking at this site for 10 minutes. Come
Yeah,
on.
I think my only dislike with that game was if you were running, every freaking robot is out to get you. Even if you're riding on one, like that's what I would have thought would have been cool. Is like a mechanic is like if you're riding on one, it would have been like a little like cloaking mechanism. But yeah, like they're always after you no matter what. There's no
Yeah.
robot that's like, hey, you're cool. I like you.
Honestly, dude, that's so annoying, dude. Like, man, dude, it's like some RPG games and open world games, like the non-bosses are harder than the bosses.
Really, you think so?
Yeah, dude, if you play God of War, dude, like the bosses are, dude, like.
So in quantity, you're saying in quantity they're harder than the bosses.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because like there's that one mission in God of War where like you're going up that like like that elevator or whatever, the elevator of realms, and like there's always those enemies that come through the certain like floor of the realms, and so that was really hard because they're like constantly coming.
Yeah. Like, dude.
So I get what you're saying. Yeah, within quantity they're harder.
Like they're harder than the final boss. Like if there's enough of them, and like
Yeah.
if you don't have a lot of health, like it's just so ridiculous. Like even like the miniature bosses, I found those harder than the final boss. Like they're ridiculous. It's stupid. Like I'm probably just really bad at the game. I wouldn't doubt it. But like those like the bosses, like the final boss, like those guys are pretty easy because like I think because like since there's not a quantity and since they're an actual boss and even when they want to progress like the fighting, like they have a pattern because like they're actually important. Like you said you didn't notice it, but like what's it called? Like even like the developers, like they later released it. Like when you're fighting against Baldur the first time, it's basically a tutorial instead of a fight without any pop-ups. Like he has a pattern. Like when the first phase of fighting him is focused on, like he doesn't attack you that much and just so you can get used to attacking. But they plot it with he doesn't attack you at first just to see if you can make him feel pain, and then the second phase. He starts attacking you more, so you focus on defense. And then the third phase, it's like you use your rage, so you know your rage controls. And in fourth phase, you put everything all together into one.
Yeah, I never noticed that. I mean, because yeah, there wasn't really any prompt or anything that's telling you like specifically like attack, like get 3 hits on Baldur without
Yeah,
like something like that. So yeah, I never noticed that. But I think with that too, I think. Even though, yeah, you might be saying that the boss fights were easy, or easier than the regular fights, I think it was kind of balanced with like a lot of them were cinematic, so it's not like they weren't fun. You still had some fights
fun.
that like yeah, like the fight is it's still very engaging. For me, I love the cinematics because of my trailers, but yeah, it was still really engaging and it still felt fun.
Like I do like how like the dynamic the characters are like Atreus or however you pronounce his name. Like dude, he was a brat for a cool minute at that point, one point in the game. Like it was annoying.
Which one? Oh, Atreus.
Yeah, he was annoying at one
or
point.
Atreus.
Yeah, was he not annoying at one point in the game?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, we're gods. We can do whatever we want. Like.
And then every time you tell him to do
We're
something,
gods,
he's like,
though.
whatever. I'm like, boy, if you say whatever one more time.
Oh, yeah, he'd be like, boy, open that. Or boy. Like, he'd just call boy. And then he'd be like, whatever.
I'm like, It's so annoying. Like,
Boy.
dude, like, what's it called? Like, the bosses that they had set up, like the ones that had like hella like amount of armor, like the one like the knights or whatever. Those motherfuckers are so damn hard to beat. Probably have
The ones with like the long swords.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were a pain in the butt, especially when you got two of them. So again, the quantity, like when you got two of those dudes.
Oh, dude,
they
you know you're hitting retry a resurrection stone.
Yeah, because what do you call it? There's that part where there's two of them, and then there's like that flaming the flaming cylinder that would turn.
Yeah.
So you have to like move with the flames and still be fighting them. Yeah, that. And then also there's those ones that like you can only fight with the Levithian axe, and then or Levithian axe or whatever it's called, and then some that you can only use with the Hellblades.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it still felt very fun, but
you had to adapt a lot, like on the fight. Like, you did the final fight, right?
The
against Boulder.
Yeah.
Like, I think what was really cool is that like you'd have to pay attention to him. Like, you'd have to adapt. Like you could use your freaking axe, but then
he would turn cold, so you couldn't use the axe against him.
Then you have to use the Blades of Chaos. I've actually looked into the God of War lore. It's really good, in my opinion. Like, I looked at the God of War 1, 2, and 3, and like how he died multiple times, but it became the God of War. It's a really good story. Opinion.
I think that's what was awesome about this game, and I think they even said it was that. And I never did. I never played the original ones, and you didn't need to enjoy this one. It was almost like a refreshed take.
Yeah, because like I didn't know anything about it when I played it. Like, what's it called?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, apparently,
he hints a lot of stuff to his backstory too, so it's not like you're totally at a loss for like things, you know.
Yeah, but you start learning about it through the witch.
And I feel like you kind of take the place of Atreus. Like, he's learning about his father just as we are if we haven't played the first three games. You know, like whenever you see certain things, and like there's that part where he lifts up the vase that shows him fighting, and then Atreus is like, what's that? And Kratos just throws it on the floor. Yeah, like there's certain things that like we have to learn with Atreus. So I think that was really cool.
Yeah, and like there's like a lot of little details and stuff. Like Atreus is like a really cool character. Like he was unlocking like abilities left and right. Like when he was calling the serpent, like I didn't notice, but like his eyes turned a different color, which like basically like hinted like he has the power of wisdom or something like that. I thought that was really cool. There's just a lot of stuff in there where like if you played it again, you would see stuff that you missed previously, and which I thought was
Or if you're playing on a PS4 Pro.
Dude, I need a PS4 Pro so I can stop lagging when I record.
The PS4 Pro with 4K HDR. Yeah. I didn't notice as much. I didn't notice any of that.
I mean, I dig deep into the lore because I was like interested. I was like, what's up with this guy?
Yeah, I don't think I watched any videos on any sort of lore, especially because I didn't want to ruin it for myself, you know.
No, I did after.
Oh, okay, yeah. I haven't watched anything yet. I've been focused on
God of War in 7 minutes. You're done.
I started playing that game because it was on Steam for like $4. Rise, Son of Rome.
I've heard
And
it
reminds me. Yeah, it's an Xbox exclusive, but they ported it onto PC. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of God of War, just the way it plays. And I asked John before I bought it. I was like, "Hey, is this a good game?" I mean, I really didn't need his opinion. It was only $4, so. Yeah. But I just wanted to ask him because him and Sean had always, talked about playing it. So I asked him, and he's like, "Oh no, it's not really the greatest game." And so I'm like, "Fuck, I'm just buy it," because I watched like a trailer and the cinematics looked really dope. So I was like, even if it's not a good game, I'll play through it and use the cinematics for trailers. So I'm playing through it, and I'm like, dude, this reminds me of God of War, and this came out like 4 years ago. Like, what? This is such a good game. And I asked him, I'm like, dude, what was wrong with Rise? Like, what's wrong with it? He's like, it gets repetitive, and the enemies are all the same. And I was thinking, like, that's pretty much God of War. Like, the enemies weren't repetitive where the play style was, but like you'd always get that one guy with the big ass log on his shoulder, and you'd execute him the same way by bringing the log down on his head. Like, there's certain
It was
games.
satisfying every time though.
It was, but that's the argument that I made to John. Is like, there's always going to be a repetitiveness in every game, even GTA that updates itself every freaking couple years or whatever. It still feels repetitive after each update. It's like, so. Back to choice-based games, if they execute it really well, they don't feel that way. Until Dawn doesn't feel repetitive because you're making different choices. But yeah, so I'm playing through Rise, and I'm like almost done with it. I'm like 80% done. And it's really cool. I like it, but I wanted to bring it up because it reminds me a lot of God of War.
Mm-hmm. I mean, have any of you guys play, what is it, Heavy Rain?
No.
I haven't played it. I think like the same people made Detroit Become like, what you talking about Detroit Become Human, my guy? Like they had so many different endings, did they not?
Yeah, that one I remember seeing that one had a lot of different choices, and then also too, like, the way that if you died, it not that it didn't affect the story, but it affected it in a really beautiful way that you were just replaced, which I thought was cool. Like,
But like, you know what happens every time you get replaced, right?
No.
Like a lot of stuff happening. Like say like if you die too many times, right? Hank will eventually kill himself.
Oh, really?
And if you die too many times,
my boy Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, when Marcus and Connor have like the little showdown, like in the boat, where like you have the option to become deviant. If you die too many times before that, you do not have that option.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you're too fresh of a robot.
Yeah, like, and you lose
That's
like,
cool.
a lot of your stuff.
Yeah. So again, that's a good one that I only played it when we did that video, and then Sean had been playing it a lot. So I never got to really fully jump into that one, but I saw a lot of videos that explain the playability of that one. Like, I think I watched like a Before You Buy on Game Ranks. So yeah, like, again, like, if they really execute it well, it makes the game, even though it's story based and there really isn't like mechanics like that are crazy in depth like God of War. The mechanics of having Atreus what do you call it, shoot his bow, and you get to throw your axe and all that. Like, it's still just as fun because your choices are those mechanics.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they really execute it well, it could be a dope game.
And like after you finish God of War, there's still so much to do.
Yeah, and then that secret ending.
Yeah.
Like, I was really disappointed with the actual ending. Like, you're just walking and you see the credits, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So then I go and
found out that's not the real ending.
Yeah, and then I see Thor, and I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna get real. They're making another one.
Would you doubt them? Would you doubt? Like, should you blame them?
I wouldn't blame them. I would hope the same thing for any game. It was a test game.
Like, yeah, it was something like that. Like they were testing out stuff. They're like seeing like what they could do with this game, like RPG or something wise. It was a test. It was like, it wasn't like they were basically like they were testing something. I forgot what it was, but they were testing something with a story or something for the second game. So like the story was really good, but like the next one is gonna be like, oh my god, it's gonna be way better. Wow,
I didn't know that. They did really good though. Yeah, even if it wasn't connected to all the other God of Wars, it's still a standalone, like, really good game.
Yeah. Like, it is connected, but like it's definitely, like, after learning about the lore, it can definitely, like, that could be the first God of War, like, if it wanted to be, honestly.
Yeah, and especially for launching off for like next gen, because the last one came out for PS3, right?
I think so.
So if they wanted to do the next one for PS4, that would be a really good selling point. Is like maybe at some point they bundle it, like kind of how they did the Ezio trilogy. Like, they bundle God of War and whatever the next one is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be really dope. I would not mind a second one.
I wouldn't mind a second one at all, and it's like, it's really crazy. Apparently, like with the enemies, like, apparently, like, they sticks to the oh, not lore, but like the origins of like the people, like Boulder, like that's that's an actual thing, but like the background was like the actual like legend of Boulder and like Freya, right, when he was becoming invulnerable, because he was truly invulnerable, and basically how he became invulnerable, right, when she was giving him the stuff, like in the back, like the background or the lore is she asked like every single thing in the nature or something not to harm him, right, but she forgot to ask the mistletoe or something like that not to harm him. That was the one thing she asked not to harm him because she didn't think that would be harmful. And then I don't. And then what's it?
And that's why she took the arrows from Atreus.
Yeah.
Uh,
She's like, oh my
yeah,
god, this guy made it to arrows. What the hell?
I was wondering like why take the arrows from him? Like what's wrong with them? But then he had Kratos had makeshifted that like latch for him for his quiver or whatever. And yeah, that man, you know a lot more about that game than I do. I just thought it was a cool game, but you're over here telling me all this crazy stuff.
I just like when I really like a game, I just get really into it. I guess
I don't think I've had enough time to really do that because, like I say, I'm playing through all these games to collect clips for or Fortnite. Which,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, like I like as soon as I finish
know.
the game, I started just looking this stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Did you
fresh
hear
in my
that?
head.
Did you hear that Fortnite is getting figures by McFarlane Toys?
Like it's gonna be made into toys.
An actual like figures.
Barely
Little action
just
figures.
now.
I know. I was saying the same thing because I've always told people I was like, dude, they're so smart for the skins because they really have no merchandise. They don't have shirts like actual officially licensed merchandise unless it's like stuff from like conventions or something that's like really rare. There's nothing available to like full mass market.
Mm-hmm.
So, not that this isn't smart either, but this is probably the smartest route that they could go because it'll probably make them the most money. Like kids, they might want like I'm definitely gonna get some for Aiden,
Yeah, like
because he's super into Fortnite, and even for collectors, like there's a lot of collectors that really like McFarlane Toys quality, so they'll probably get some and throw them on their shelves and stuff.
one of the smartest things they did was making the mobile version, and like what made it really smart is they did it before PUBG, and PUBG announced it first. And I don't think Fortnite was even like high key about them with the mobile thing. Like PUBG is like, oh yeah,
I don't even think it's about the release date that really made a difference. It's the crossplay. You can't
Yeah.
crossplay PUBG.
That's true.
You can crossplay on like I've been playing with Joanna like all the time, and she's always on her phone. So
I just thought that was crazy
Yeah.
though. Like just like PUBG was like, oh, you'll come out with a mobile version. Fortnite not saying over it. Oh yeah, we got this app out now. Have fun.
yeah, play with your friends on PlayStation, PC, Xbox,
And like
do whatever you
and
want.
like and like not even just cross platforming. Like you have voice chat while you're cross platforming, which is awesome.
And now Switch, like
Fuck,
yeah,
man.
it's crazy. I think that's what's really doing it for them. Even though they have a paid game, the Save the World, they're making all their money off of Battle Royale. Some skins, the whole set, like the Bushido set that just came out, if you get the whole skin, that's like $20, $30. It's like you're spending as much money as you would spend on certain items of clothing for in-game skins.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
I mean,
So-
with being on a Wii, like salty, we gotta get Speed Bike on it. 'Cause that's all he does is play a Wii and Nintendo DS or whatever.
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
that's smart. They're like on every platform.
Yeah, and not only that they're on every platform, but you can play with everybody else on every platform. Like that's what I think that's what makes them so cool, because I was playing on PlayStation, and before they brought out the cross platform, like I could barely play with Kevin because he had his little squad already. Sean never wanted to play, so I really had nobody to play with. Then once I got on PC, they brought out the cross platform, and now I could have played with John or Joanna, like anybody that I wanted to play with. So from a market standpoint, that just inclines me more to buy a skin because I'm playing the game more. So I can play with
Like, you
anybody.
can play it on the go.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was the smartest decision. I don't know how they pulled it off. I don't know why other games do that. Like I was telling John and Sean, like why don't other games do that when they're like older, like GTA or Battlefield or something, that when they're older they allow the cross platform, then you have a bigger player base, you know.
Like it's clearly doable because like Fortnite, like that it's not like a like that's a somewhat demanding game on performance, and like they're able to cross-platform it on mobile devices. Like you need like your phone needs to be a certain gen, but still like most people have that high gen that it requires, you know.
Yeah, or the RAM. Like you need
Yeah.
at least 2 GB of RAM.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's still it's crazy, but like if like let's say if Battlefield could cross platform, me and John could have played with Sean because he would have been on PlayStation.
Yeah.
But because we couldn't cross platform, we really don't play that game anymore. So I think that's what brings a lot of Fortnite players. So like if Aiden wanted to play with me, all he'd have to do is boot up his iPad and I'd join him and we could play together. So there's more inclination to play the game because of the availability of the game, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried playing PUBG the other day and I got wrecked.
Bro, that game is so man. Like
It's
like both of those games are just to me, dude. It's so random, man. Like you have to play
Yeah.
multiple games to get good games.
yeah, I'm more used to Fortnite, so it's harder to get back into PUBG.
Like what's it called? Like I remember like this one guy was like asking ninjas like, hey, who do you think is better, you or Tifo? And he was like, I don't know. PUBG's really random. Like anything can happen in any game. It's always a different game. So I don't know who's better because every game is different. You know, it's so random.
You can't say the same for Fortnite. I mean, I would think with all the things
No, they're
they've
talking
implemented
about. I'm talking about Fortnite.
Oh, I thought you had said PUBG.
Nah, Fortnite.
Yeah, because now they have the portable rift, which you could activate so that you could jump anywhere on the map. Yeah, there's so many things that change the play now. I love the game, but I hate the guns because now if you get like a golden scar, rare skin in the game, you get a golden scar. Some guy can one shot you with a green pump, most common gun in the game. Like,
yeah.
It's like, come on, dude.
It's like, yeah, it's not balanced. Like the green pump was like one of the strongest like guns in the game, dude. It's like ridiculous. It's like,
And I was playing with one of my other friends, and he said he feels it got stronger. Like he feels it got buffed because he was getting more one shots. Like I was like, God dang, son.
he was like, man,
Let's do this.
let's get it.
Relive all the one shots.
Can I get
See if we can get like 50,000 one shots.
Can we get another buff for the green pump?
Green pump.
Let's get it.
Get it. Yeah.
Dude, did Salty die or something?
I don't know. I was wondering, like, where is he?
I have no idea. Salty.
¿Dónde
yeah?
está Salty? Hey, Salty.
What the fudge happened to him? Like I even
It's showing his little pictures like it'll come up green like if his mic's on or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I think like off topic of podcast. Sean was saying like, is your phone working? He asked me, is your phone working? Because like, I don't know.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any texts or anything from him.
I don't know. He was like, hey, is this phone working? I'm like, I should be.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten any texts.
Yeah, that is weird. Man,
If anything, his phone's probably not working because I know he's been having problems with it.
I wonder, like, what would you even title this podcast? Like, we covered like a lot of stuff. Like, we covered a lot of good stuff, in my opinion.
Just title it podcast number 1.
Yeah.
And just kind of give a description of what we talked about. Not so much the description is the title, but once you post it, just like put like, you know, we start with choice-based games and who we feel executes that the best, and then we, you know, kind of talk about other games. Just kind of describe it.
Yeah. You think this would be good enough right here to end it?
If you want.
I mean, like, do you have more to talk about? I think I don't know.
I definitely have more to talk about. We just need to find out where Salty is.
Yeah, like I'm down to talk more. I just don't know what to talk about.
Yeah, I still got like an hour, 2 hours to of a window to talk if you still want to talk.
Yeah. I don't know where he went. I messaged him and I added him.
Rootbeer.
I could text him. Like, hey, salty, let's get it.
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Free level of salt. How do you have a salty root beer? That must be like really gross.
Apparently, like his teacher or something, said, oh yeah, this is a soda, this is a root beer, and apparently he put like a full tablespoon of salt, but like he didn't check it, so he just he was drinking it like nonstop, and like it was just soda, and then out of nowhere, just the freaking rush of salt came down his throat. And he's like, ah.
Ooh, so it must have like just all gone to the bottom or something.
Yeah.
That's gross. What did he think it was, like sugar or something?
Nah, he didn't look. He just drank without question. Like, okay. And then he got to the bottom.
Just dumps a whole packet of salt. Oh my god.
How could you?
How could you?
How could
You damn teacher.
You god damn it, teacher.
God damn it, Bobby. You done salted my root beer.
For the last time.
For the last time, Bobby. You can't salt my root beer.
Where is he? I texted him too.
Maybe he said so. I didn't hear him say anything, but maybe he said something like I'll be back or something. I'll be back.
I mean, it must have been a while ago, because like I even like mentioned him in the middle of the conversation. I was like, hey, yeah, Salty, we should get speed again. Cricket, cricket, cricket. What the hell? That's so accurate. That's crazy. Fuck,
yeah,
man.
I hear background noise for him.
All right, the Blind Prophet. Let's ask you some questions. What's the next trailer?
Next trailer might be either Horizon or that Rise. So, depending on what I can get done first and what music matches and everything, I have all the clips for. I'm gonna do the Frozen Wilds DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played that yet?
No.
No, it's pretty cool.
I didn't even finish the game.
Yeah, finish the game, and if you can find the Frozen Wilds DLC. It's the DLC itself. It's a lot to play through. It takes about like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours to play through if you're playing it like all the way through by itself. Mm-hmm. There's certain like side quests and stuff that you could do that might elongate it, but I did a straight playthrough, and it's really simple, but the end is dope. Like I don't want to heighten your expectations, but for me it was really dope because it opens the possibility for the next game if they make one.
What would they even do for the next game, though?
You gotta play the DLC, and we'll talk about it. Do a whole podcast on it.
I don't know, man. I want to finish it. I gotta find it. Wait, I just gotta download it. Duh, the fudge. I don't have it on disc.
So just kind of download it.
I download it from the PlayStation Store.
You got an elephant in the room, and you know I want to talk about
it. Bro,
man, for all the teachers that get on us for talking, look what we're doing now.
What are you guys doing? A podcast.
Hey, you see you're doing a lot of talking.
I am preparing myself for this moment.
I'm preparing for the podcast.
See, right now, like
when I turn about 18 years old, I will be doing a podcast with mi amigos. It will be called the Mortalcast. The Mortalcast.
It's crazy that everybody still like started school today, dude, and I'm just over here like, haha, not me.
I'm just over here getting up at 2:30 in the morning to start work.
On my grind.
Dude, I gotta figure out my schedule with them because
You still haven't
I'm
got
off.
it?
No, I'm off tomorrow, and then I go in Wednesday. So I gotta figure out like what's going on, and if I'm probably gonna get a second job.
Wait, so you say you work full time at Target?
No, I thought they were gonna put me on full time, but right now it's not even looking like part time. So that's what I'm saying. Like I gotta figure it out and find out what's going on.
Are you looking like sometime?
What do you? Yeah, sometime.
Sometimes. He's on sometimes.
Yeah. I work sometime.
Yeah. Yo, does
What do you got? Like full time, part time, sometime.
Sometime.
That was a good one.
Hey man, this is better than me. What you got? Minimum time.
Minimum time.
I walk in, I walk out.
What do you work? Full time, part time? Time. Time. I work time.
Time. Yeah.
Time.
You got a schedule? Yeah, time.
Time.
I work from time to time.
I am the
Time.
absolute worst podcast guest.
Yeah, we were wondering like for like 10 minutes
Yeah,
where
we
you
were
were.
like, where is he?
I legitimately fucking. Oh, I fell asleep.
What?
What?
I am like super tired.
Oh man.
I have.
Oh, that's right. It's like 9 over there, right?
Yeah, it's like 9. Actually, no, it's 8:20.
Oh, okay.
I
Just
just
an hour.
didn't get too much sleep, and I dozed.
Yeah, when I got home from work, Marcus was like, "Dude, let's do it now." And I was like, "Fuck, I just got off. Like, I'm tired." And I was like, "Give me a minute." And then I fell asleep for like 8 hours.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
we were
I'm sorry.
chilling for a cool hour. Like, where is he? And I was like, you know what? Let's play some Rainbow Six Siege. We decided that after an hour, I was like, man, you're not coming.
Yeah, I was tired. I had woke up at like 10 last night because I got off at like 4:30 yesterday.
How do you get to work?
And my grandfather dropped me off because my grandmother is using my truck. Her car was being serviced, but she works, so she had to take the car, and the mechanic kept on telling her like, dude, I can't fix your car if you're gonna keep taking it. So she asked if she could use my truck, and that way she could get the car like fully serviced.
Yeah. What a nice guy.
But
see, these choices will have consequences. You decided to doze off. You changed the plot.
Sorry, man.
You changed the plot. You chose, yeah. Now this podcast is gonna have a different ending.
Oh damn it! Butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect.
5 minutes later, you guys just forget about it and it just ends the same way.
It ends the same, yeah. We just retcon it.
Oh no, we're turning into Toto cast. Toto Tales.
Telltale Tales.
I don't really have much to say about choices in games. I don't know if that's where you guys are still in the conversation.
No, we
just
started talking. I started doing Hank Hill for some reason, and yeah, we've been talking about salt in our root beer.
Yeah, I taught him where your origin of your nickname comes from.
You're telling him the origin of my nickname.
Yeah.
I guess it's fair enough because I was asleep.
Yeah, these actions will have consequences.
The blind prophet will remember that.
The blind prophet can't. The blind prophet. The blind prophet. Yes.
Is it really that much of a tongue twister? Because you've done that like 10 times now, Marcus.
Me? I was just copying him.
No, in the beginning when you were like the blah, blah, blah.
No, that's just something I naturally do. Like when I record, like sometimes like I'll stumble over my words. Like if it was something else.
You're like that one girl. What's her name? The little girl that's like famous for just talking super fast. Yeah, it was good. She just starts her videos off like just super fast. Nobody can understand what she's saying. It's like JoJo something.
Dude, like if you want me to talk fast, I can talk fast.
Talk fast. Yeah, let's see. What's her goddamn name?
Let's get it.
Do this.
Have you guys played We Happy Few or seen any gameplays of it?
I haven't.
Jojo Siwa.
I've never heard of her.
It's Jojo Siwa. Yeah, let's see.
What kind of videos does she do?
Hold on, let me see if I could find a clip of her talking really fast. Yeah, let's see.
Every intro of the video.
I mean nothing what I just said. You just.
That That's legit her intro. Just hey guys.
Subscribe.
But yeah, what do you call it? What was I gonna say? The origin of my name comes from two things. The origin of the blind prophet. The prophet part is the double meaning for prophet, like prophecy. That comes from Chirrut Imwe from Rogue One, like my favorite character from that movie. And then profit, as far as like profit, Profit, that comes from, I did a little entrepreneur work. So I just like to represent that with that part. So
Money.
it's very simple. A lot of people when I'm playing like a game, they'll just either call me blind or they'll call me prophet, which is funny.
Nobody says the blind.
Because they'll just be like, "Hey, blind, blind,
I'm blind.
blind." But
Nobody's gonna be like, yo, can you drop me that the blind prophet?
yeah. Hey, blind, can you drop me that gun or something?
Hey, blind, are you blind?
Are you actually blind?
I feel like some person
Do
is...
you sell propane?
Has nobody ever asked you those type of questions?
For what?
Like, are you blind? Are you actually blind, or are you blind?
Well, no, I think that's what's kind of ironic is that name, and I'm playing video games which are fully visual, so
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really has the audacity to ask if I'm blind, because why would a blind person be playing a video game?
No, I'm gonna ignore what you just said. I'm gonna just like, I want to think that there's someone out there that actually thought you were blind and asked if that's what it was.
I've never gotten it yet, so I mean maybe it'll happen, but
Someone's gonna
maybe
come on
some
YouTube channel.
little
How do you make trailers if you're blind?
yeah, how do you make trailers if you're blind? Yeah. And then Mortalmen, obviously he gets his name because it's actually ironic because he's immortal. So it's not so much him, it's his viewers, they're mortal.
Maybe.
I'm salty.
Maybe.
Saw him a root beer, and that's it.
So my question though for you is how did you pour a thing of salt and then be surprised by it?
The thing is, so I miss said that. Is that what Marcus said?
No.
Yeah, he said
I
that
said
you
the
poured
teacher
salt
poured
in-
it in there.
He said no. He said you poured salt in your root beer and then drank it and
You
got
didn't
to
hear
the
the
bottom.
teacher part
Like,
then.
Okay, then. So the thing is I was in a seminary class. I took seminary as a high schooler. Up until my junior year, I think. And it was my sophomore year that this happened. Teacher, he was trying to teach like some sort of lesson or something. I can't remember the specifics, but like he had these cups, and he had like some root beer, like some Shasta, some of the cheap stuff, And to me, root beer is root beer. I love root beer. So he starts off, says, "Hey, does someone want some water?" And I kind of figured there might have been a catch to this whole thing, but I didn't really get it until after I took a sip. But like I didn't raise my hand or anything, water. So a couple of other people, they got some water. It was perfectly fine. I'm like, hey, cool. Maybe he'll ask for something else. Like I saw the root beer. I'm like, hey, I want some of that. Maybe he'll ask if anyone wants that. So he asks, hey, does anyone want some root beer? And he just has a 12-pack of Shasta root beer. I'm like, yeah, I really do, because I love root beer. So I went up to the front of the room, and he pulled out a can of root beer, and he showed it to me. He's like, hey, this is a can of root beer. I'm like, yeah, I see it. And then he like poured it into a red Solo cup that he had sitting on like to the side without me seeing what was inside of it. He'd like prepared it beforehand. He'd like put the salt into the cup beforehand, but he wouldn't let me look inside the cup. So he like poured part of a can into a little cup, and there was like a tablespoon or something like that, like tons of salt.
Oh god, yeah, a tablespoon's a lot for a red Solo cup. Yeah, forget that.
And I didn't think that there was anything in it. I thought, hey, this is just he's using
Carbonated beverage.
But he's just splitting up the root beer. So like, there's more to go around and all that.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I just took a sip. I took a big draught of the stuff, and it wasn't just root beer, and it just it tasted gross. It was salty.
So was he trying to teach something? Like what was his
There
purpose?
was like I said before, he was trying to teach a lesson. I can't remember what the specifics were. Like something that how like the water that he gave beforehand was like pure. You could see through it, and you could tell there was no impurities in it or anything. No, the root beer was different. It was like
to me that just sounds like he was trying to poison you. That just sounds like why would you give that? Why would you do that? Why would you give someone that much? A tablespoon of salt?
The root beer was more enticing, but you couldn't tell for sure if there was something in it or not.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
That's the thing. That's like the whole.
That just makes me think of
was gross.
Gag on content.
Like I can't even handle that much. I can't even handle like too much salt in like my mashed potatoes or steak or something. Like something that salt is supposed to be good on, let alone a tablespoon in root beer. I can't imagine. Forget that.
That's something. That's something you never forget. You never forget that.
I probably wouldn't either. Oh my god,
I probably remember that taste to this day. I probably never drink a cup of root beer ever again unless I thoroughly checked the contents of it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I've never accepted root beer from a teacher again, and I've never accepted root beer
Never
from a
accept
person.
anything from your teacher.
That's not what your teacher can do for you, but what you can do for your teacher.
You gotta be able to do the hot things for your teacher.
If your teacher hands you a red Solo cup of root beer, don't drink it. It's salty.
Don't.
I don't know why, but I read his name in like Peter Griffin's voice. Like oh yeah, salty root beer. Like it. I don't know why. I think it's maybe because of the like capital RO. Root beer. Oh shit, Cortana, I didn't call you. Stop it.
How may I assist you?
How may I assist you?
Help me. Help you to understand you.
Help me. Help you. Yeah, I right now.
Do you even use Cortana?
Yeah, I was actually using her like a couple weeks ago. I was playing that movie game. The movie game you can do. It's like, hey Cortana, the movie game, and then it'll like give you hints as to what the movie is. I was pretty good. Like the only movies I wasn't getting were like movies made before like the 60s. But everything like from the 70s like up until now, like I pretty much got everyone.
This man, a real trailer maker.
I'm a real moviegoer. So I was watching what do you call it, Reservoir Dogs the other night. And I freaking love everything Quentin Tarantino. Just all of his movies are masterpieces. I love what somebody said, that he's the modern day Shakespeare. Because to me that's totally true. Like his movies really are, if you look at it, they really are like almost like Shakespearean, kind of the way that he structures his movies.
Mm-hmm.
But yep, Avengers 4 is still being rumored about, even though it's still got like 10 years before it comes out.
Right?
Everybody's like freaking talking about that James Gunn stuff. And I don't know if you want to get into that on here, but yeah.
Oh, with James Gunn again?
James Gunn was the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what I was thinking. He got fired because of some old tweets, right?
He got fired because of those tweets that came out from like I want to say 2009 through 2012. Those like pedophilic tweets, and just recently after he was fired, like almost like 2 weeks ago, some pictures surfaced of him at like a pedophile convention or something.
That's a thing?
Yeah, I guess he was at some pedophiles convention and he was taking. There's like 2 pictures that came up that he was like with some James Gunn.
I've never heard that.
No, you haven't heard that? Yeah, they're on the internet and there's pictures.
What was the picture?
Do you know who James Gunn is?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah. You know what happened with him, right?
Yeah, I heard that he was fired from directing the next Guardians of the Galaxy movie because of tweets that he made.
Yeah.
Like
And
years ago.
I've read the tweets, and yeah, I mean, they're nothing you really want to see your kids or somebody see, but they're like satire, like
They're bad jokes.
they're really bad jokes, and I don't feel that it's fair for him to get fired for that. Like, okay, if he was actually a pedophile and he's actually been freaking raping little boys and girls, like, okay, fine, but I don't know, like, just for some tweets.
But what about the convention thing you were talking about?
Yeah, well, there's people that go to freaking conventions with like aliens that are like with big tits and shit, but like
What?
it doesn't mean that they're actually, fucking them. Like there's certain things that people go to. It's just something they like, It's not something. I don't know. It's really gray because it's pedophilia, which is bad. But
I would assume
if he hasn't it's okay. It's okay for like us. We play video games where we kill people. Does that mean we go out every day and kill them?
No.
Like, I don't know what James Gunn does to get off, where we play video games to do that and suppress that. But I don't know. Like, I feel like, especially for what he's done for Marvel, like he took some of the most characters that really weren't popular and nobody really even knew about, and he's made them household names now, and with such a great style. Like, I love the style that he took for the movies, that like 70s 80s style. Like, why get rid of him just over those tweets? Just
I don't know.
I feel like something more should have been done, because I do believe it's again, pedophilia, it's wrong, like it's not a good thing, especially some of the things that he was saying. But I don't know, it's super gray. I know I'd probably get in trouble for everything I say, but it just, I don't know him. I'm not gonna call him a monster for some tweets he's made. I'm not gonna say he's a piece of shit or anything. I don't know. If I knew him and like the cast members know him and say that he's not that guy that people are making him out to be, then I would take their word for that, because they do know him.
Yeah. Like, I don't have an opinion about him because I don't know him.
Yeah, exactly. Like that goes for anyone. That, like, when people talk about Trump and Hillary, like I don't know either of them. Obviously Trump is doing what he can for the country, and Hillary has tried to do what she can, and I don't know either of them. I can only base them off of their politics, but I'm not gonna call either of them anything that I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like with James Gunn, like, it's really hard to really take a stance, because again, the pedophilia is wrong. He hasn't enacted any pedophilia, like any actual sexual acts, but those tweets are very very concerning.
Yeah.
As well as with the pictures. Like, the pictures, I feel, go a lot more than the words did. So it just, God, sucks.
Well, there's this
choices.
He
chose to do those tweets, and those chose his outcome.
There is a conversation though about that type of thing. Like, how long after I feel like they've changed,
Yeah,
well, yeah, I mean,
feel
those,
like
again, those came out 2009, 2012.
Yeah,
He's done those Guardians movies since
like,
then. I feel like that would do a lot to, change his.
I feel like
like 9 years, I feel like would be enough time to change.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's,
I mean, if you look at
spoken out against himself, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you look at Robert Downey Jr., obviously he wasn't talking about pedophilia, but he was a major alcoholic, and he was a drug addict, and he was doing all those things. And look what, like, he's now one of the biggest movie stars in America. So there definitely is room for people to improve, and I fully believe that. I idolize Robert Downey Jr. exactly for that, because he shows how low you can go and come back from that. Like,
like, it's truly not over. Like, there's always a way to turn your life around.
he is legitimately Iron Man. He is Iron Man. No one is ever going to be Iron Man to me other than Robert Downey Jr. Because even in the comics, Tony Stark has a drinking problem.
Yeah, that's like
he
that
had a
was saying
drinking
that's
problem.
ironic because he's an alcoholic too.
Yeah, like or he was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. There's no difference. They're the same person. He is Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah.
The press starts clapping and everything.
I loved that he had a Black Sabbath shirt on in the first Avengers. That was so cool.
Dude, like it's awesome and like, oh my god. Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying and I get what you're coming from. But like how are you supposed to judge or form an opinion on someone 6 or 9 years ago? Like, it's like you're just forming on an opinion on who they were 6 to 9 years ago, you know?
Exactly, and that's
those tweets were there for people to see.
Exactly. That's what my biggest problem too is. Like Disney should have done a very full background check on him. If these people that were against what he was saying about Trump could go back that far and find those, Disney could have very well done that when they hired him in 2013. You know, so I feel it was almost hypocritical of Disney to fire him just for that. Like, oh, they found him, so we got to let you go. Like, what? Like, man, it's super gray
like
to me because
or something at least.
For me, like for me, I'm looking more at the product that he's made than the person that he is, because he would have probably made that third Guardians movie and I'd still never know him, but I'd love the product that he made, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who he is, it matters what he's done, and again, that does fall into the tweets he makes, because it could very well
Batman Begins quote, man.
You live long enough to you either die hero.
It's not who you are, it's about what you do.
Oh yeah.
What was it like? It was like it's not who you are under the mask, it's about what you do, something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, because like I say, I'll probably never have. I mean, I would like to become a director and I would like to get into the film industry, but I would have probably never met him. So what opinion can I really form off of him to also to get him fired from his job, you know?
Like,
I feel like that's,
you know?
yeah, I mean, obviously he makes a very good living, but you know,
he's worked hard for it, you know? I would assume he would.
Exactly, and I think, you know, I don't think I would be really surprised if he was a monster, you know? if he was that guy that really seeks out kids and, you know, freaking traffics them and has some at his house and shit, like that, I would be really surprised. Like, there's no way. But again, I don't know, so I can't really speak on that. Yeah. I just look at the product that he's made, how it's affected my life, and that's really all I can say. If he's done illegal acts, then by all means enforce the law upon him and, you know, prosecute him and punish him accordingly. But for this mob mentality and this frontier justice that we have, I totally disagree with it. That's why I've pretty much deleted all social media except for YouTube.
I don't like nowadays. I only use social media if it's like something to do with my YouTube channel, because like all I like every time you go on social media, it's just some stupid drama. It's like it's
what made me laugh was Michael Rooker's statement after this happened. He was like, yeah, Twitter's, you know, piece of shit, and I'm not going to be on Twitter anymore, so I'm just going to be on Instagram. That doesn't help anymore, because people are on all of it, you know? Yeah. The same people doing Twitter, I think, is probably just the most popular. But yeah, like, what difference does it make if you're on Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr? Like, it's a social media outlet. Yeah. So YouTube is as well, but I feel like for me, like personally, like I don't find as much negativity on YouTube as I do on those other social media sites. Like I looked at a video of Cyberpunk, not, you know, a post that people are getting on for one of Trump's tweets.
Dude, people are getting on Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I heard about that. They had tweeted did you just assume their gender? And to me, like, what's the problem with that? Like,
how does that offend someone? Like,
I could understand why it would offend someone, but what's oh man, I know it's gonna sound so weird, but like, what's the problem with that? Like, I feel like if anything, the people that are offended brought that upon themselves. All these people that, and I respect them. I totally respect them. What I'm about to say isn't me trying to disrespect them if they take disrespect, but them saying that they're in pretty much there's an infinite amount of genders and everything, and somebody asking, "I want more guys," and them responding with, "Did you just assume their gender?" These people that are getting offended, they brought that upon themselves.
Setting themselves up for it.
If there's people that are getting fired in Canada for assuming somebody's gender and almost getting freaking prosecuted because of that,
Really?
and somebody, yeah, there's people, because there is no freedom of speech in Canada. So if you said some shit that offended somebody, then you could get fired and even prosecuted for it. So that to me, like, why get offended when you're pretty much victimizing everybody else?
Yeah. Damn. That's crazy.
So
God, man.
I totally respect if somebody wants to be whatever they want to be. I'm not going to hold that against them, but don't get offended with us when you're almost enforcing that on us, and we choose to make light of it and almost lightheartedly make fun of it. I don't believe that the people at CD Projekt Red that released that meant that to be malicious.
Yeah, like I heard their social media team is like their first language is not even English, so like they don't even fully understand the language or what they just said.
But even if they did understand English, I don't think they meant it to be malicious.
Yeah, because like I don't think
they meant it to be.
They would have like social media like teams that are smart about this. Like even if they meant to be, like, some person would be like, "No, you stupid!" Like this would be offend people. Like they clearly know like if this should or shouldn't offend someone. Like because they're an actual.
And
company.
like people now getting on The Witcher for being sexist and all this stuff. Like,
yeah.
It's like, dude, like what? Come on, like it's really ridiculous. This again, the mob mentality and frontier justice that these people have, that now they're gonna boycott the game.
Yeah, dude. Like, oh, what's it called? Like places like I don't know if this like would be the same, but like like with the thing that happened at the Madden tournament, right? So
the what?
The thing that happened at the Madden tournament, the shooting.
Oh no, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there was a mass shooting at the Madden at this Madden tournament. And I'm gonna avoid all the details, but on the Twitter, this one gaming business for esports, right? They tweeted out like we're starting to hear these losses and stuff, right? And then another like ESO Counter-Strike, it's a really popular organization for doing tournaments for Counter-Strike, right? And when they say oh we're starting to hear about kills, they replied with monster kill, and everybody's like what the hell? And then everybody's like freaking out. And the people that own that are like this was not us, somebody hacked the stuff. But everybody's like how could that be, like that couldn't have happened, like you like they're like saying like oh somebody did it on purpose, or like it wasn't on accident or something, like it wasn't hacked or it wasn't misused or something, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know, social media has gone from something that unites us and brings us together and starts a conversation to now just hate. There's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
And it's really disappointing because I can't say that I love everybody because I don't know everybody, but I'm willing to love everyone. I'm willing to, put aside differences, gender, color, things like that to be united with others. But if I'm gonna get offended by a fucking tweet, then who am I? What?
How are you getting offended by like a text of words?
Yeah, because none of that affects me, and I feel like that's kind of selfish to say, but did you just assume their gender? Like I'm not a trans person. I'm not anybody that assumes another role. I'm not gonna get offended by that. I understand the people that will be, but for me, like that doesn't affect me. I'm still probably gonna buy their game. I'm still probably gonna play it. I'm still either gonna like it or not. So for me, it doesn't affect me. But at the same time, even if I was, I don't think I would want to be offended. I think I would try to take a more productive route and be like, hey, that does offend a lot of people. So please, if you can, either find out who said that and talk to them, or just something, not, oh, you guys are disgusting, you guys are lazy, you guys are fucking pigs, and like, that I feel like that's counterproductive. Yeah. Like who's that helping?
Yeah, like, oh, we're not gonna buy your game. Like you're probably not even gonna buy the game in the first place.
yeah, like if they don't want to buy the game, that's fine. That's their choice. That's their wallet. They vote with your wallet. Um, but for me, I'm still gonna buy it. It still looks dope.
I'm still gonna buy it too. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Same.
It, I I know that probably sounds extremely selfish to the people that are being misrepresented, and they feel they're being misrepresented. But I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to speak on that, and I don't know how to feel offended, and I don't know how to
Try not to get
relate
offended
to
even
that.
if something relates to me.
All I can say is just be more productive. If you really have a problem, don't fucking make any more tweets. Email them, contact them, say, hey, what you posted really offended me, and if you guys can refrain from doing that again, we would really appreciate that, because we still would like to see the outcome of your product, but your attitude offended me. Something like that. That's more productive.
Yeah. Like a negative, and a
So
negative don't equal a positive.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I feel like there's so much more room for us as a for us as the generation that is growing up on this platform to really try to better it, rather than we're really ruining it.
Yeah, I totally.
I agree.
Man, you're making some good points. What the hell, you politician? No, I'm kidding. Like, I really
No,
feel
I
what you're
mean,
saying. Like, it makes sense. Like, oh, whew.
yeah, I would really like to, especially, I mean, because I have a little brother. I have a little brother who right now he's 8. Once he's my age, I don't want to see this be any worse than it is. For him to grow up ignorant. That's all it really comes down to, is ignorance. If you're willing to be ignorant and hate, what is it really that you're trying to progress and do? For him to, if there's a freaking game that's going to come out and they offend him, like, it just, and it's something so petty, a video game.
Yeah.
You're gonna boycott a video game. Whereas, again, like I say, email them, contact them, let them know. Don't just degrade these people. Because if anything, you're worsening the situation, because now somebody over at CD Projekt Red might have gotten fired, or might have gotten talked down to, or something, and now he feels like he doesn't really know what he did wrong. He or she, they don't really know what they did wrong. Maybe because, again, like you said, they don't really understand the language because they're Polish.
I think so. There's something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
there's
Yeah, they're
specific.
Polish. They're Polish. They're Polish.
Yeah, so maybe they fully don't understand. Maybe they just went on like a translator or something and it mistranslated. I have no idea. I wasn't there. But again, it's still, it's non-productive.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like what, how are you gonna, like, telling them that, like, they're pigs, or like insulting them? That's not telling them what they did wrong. Like, you're trying.
No, that is telling them that they were insulting. That is
like,
telling them what
like,
they did.
telling them, like, you should tell them, like, which they
But
did
elaborate on it.
differently.
Yeah, elaborate. Why did you feel offended? Rather than calling them lazy and calling them pieces of shit and calling them whatever you called them, that really was counterproductive. Tell them why you were offended. Tell them, hey, I'm actually a trans person and I take offense to that term, because that has actually become like a meme with our community. And I would really appreciate if you guys who aren't English speaking to really research on what you're saying, and really be careful with that, because this platform is so crucial to your game's success.
Yeah.
And that would be the best route. And then them apologize to them and be like, hey, yeah, we understand, we've actually been getting a lot of comments like this, and we will try to do our best to correct this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like,
like,
what's it called? Sorry for cutting you off, but like a lot of people, like, making like videos and like tweeting about it, but like a lot of people are like, I don't see what's the problem with this tweet is. Like, it's whatever. Like, a lot.
Yeah, because those people are probably like us, who really don't, we can't relate to that. None of us are trans. None of us, I mean, I don't know about Salty, but I know that we aren't gay. We don't fit into that LGBT community, so we really can take offense.
Yeah.
I am not offended easily.
Yeah, so again,
I honestly, like, with this whole thing, I don't feel like CD Projekt Red is that kind of company. Like, Disney fired James Gunn, and I can get kind of why they did it, because like a lot of people, like when they think of Disney, they think of the most inclusive, you know.
Yeah, and pedophilia. Like, how do you, with Disney being a company for kids? Yeah,
like a lot of people would see Disney keeping James Gunn as them, like, I guess condoning that kind of action. But like, even if that's not how it is, I still think it's dumb. I think they're trying too hard to protect their image. But that's just me. But with CD Projekt Red, I don't think that they're the same kind of company. You know, I don't
but
think
again,
they're
like I said,
like trying to like. I know what you're trying to say. I know what you're trying to say, but I don't think that they are as concerned.
well, no, I was just going to touch on like how you brought up James Gunn again. Like I said with James Gunn, like we're going to look at the product. You know, these aren't people that we know. We're never going to meet that person who made that tweet. You know, we're going to look at the product that they make. So why does it matter? You know, unless they had a track record of making tweets like that and actual transphobic tweets, okay, it's like, then yeah, you know, if you really don't want to condone that and you really don't want to support that, by all means. But it was just one tweet, probably lighthearted. They didn't understand what they were saying. Again, email them, contact them, mail them if you really feel inclined to, and just send a pigeon. I don't care. Just
Fudge, man.
something.
Send that messenger bird from Fire Nation.
Send a runner. Send someone. Send something to. Yeah, don't make it worse by putting it on social media for everyone to see and see your hate and again mob mentality. This frontier justice just makes it worse.
Like it's hard to take you seriously if if all you say is like really bad stuff.
Yeah, and even I would actually defend the people that do say some stuff, because maybe they don't even understand what they're saying. Maybe because they're so angry and so infuriated by what they're saying, maybe they're speaking more from emotion than they are logically.
Yeah.
I don't know. But both sides really aren't innocent. We just have to work together to make it better.
Yeah, I totally agree. I guess it's just, I don't know, maybe it might be hard for people. I don't know, I guess it's like, I don't know, it just seems like it's hard for people to like find middle ground and stuff. Like they just want to just like insult or, like,
it's hard for people to find middle ground on social media, not when you're having a conversation. If you have a full conversation and you meet to the person face to face, you'll find middle ground. We're people. You cut us, we bleed the same color. We're people. We all have something in common.
Yeah.
I bleed green.
Fucking alien.
Well, then you're an alien, sir.
I also have really big boobs. I'm an alien. I have big boobs, and I'm an alien, and I bleed green. Sorry, cat's out of the bag.
Is your blood acid?
My blood is acid. I squirt it at people when I get cut.
It's my self-defense mechanism.
Yeah,
It did a self-defense mechanism.
Squirt.
Yeah, I know I'll probably be on social media, when if this ever improves, but for right now, just how it is, I'm choosing not to be on it. Like, not that I would ever make tweets like that, but especially like, what if now we start having, and I believe it's actually now, we have like employers that do start doing background checks on our social media, like that's just crazy.
Man, this boy Mortalmen, all he does is make videos on Telltale. Don't hire him.
Don't hire him. Yeah.
Don't hire him.
Yeah, but it could just be something so stupid that you say, just one little thing.
Show me.
Yeah.
Show me that one.
So many screenshots. It's over.
How old is Aloy in the game?
This is where did this come from?
I've posted several pictures on my Instagram of Aloy, those screenshots. Like, what if my employer was like, oh, like just certain shit like that. Like, it's not even what you say. Like, that's what I'm saying is like, there's certain things
what's wrong with those pictures? What?
I don't know. Like, what's wrong with a lot of things that are done on social media that offend people?
I don't know. I don't go in social. media just to look around. Like, I
Oh, okay, she's 18.
I literally just go on social media to share cats and
I go on
dogs.
social media
And
to
that's all I do.
post videos and interact with people who like my videos.
Yeah,
People get mad at me, they have the option to unfriend me. I have a very different opinion about the thing than you do, to be completely honest. I am not going to change myself because of someone else's opinions. I'm
no,
gonna
it's not.
be a
It's not about
purposeful asshole,
changing.
but
No, no
like,
one's gonna. No, you are who
It's
you
not.
are.
Yeah, it's not about changing yourself. It's about recognition. Recognizing that, like, so for these people that got offended at CD Project Red, like recognizing maybe because they are Polish, maybe they didn't understand what they said, maybe they just thought it because it is a meme, maybe they've seen that and just thought it was a joke and was lighthearted. It's not about changing, it's just being more productive.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'm gonna be more productive and just kind of stay away from it, and maybe that's me being more ignorant. I don't know, but I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to.
I mean, I
I
don't
don't
think
want
it's being ignorant. I think it's just you just doing what you think is best for you. There's nothing wrong with that.
to. Yeah, I just if I find anything that's offensive, like I say, I'll probably email the company, and maybe my email won't ever be seen.
Uh huh.
But that's my part. That's what I've done. I'm not gonna tweet and Instagram post and Facebook post and you know start telling people to boycott something. That's just the wrong route.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know. I just like even if like something does offend me, I try like not to be irrational about it. Like for example, like it's not like a company or something, but like even when I just play a game or CS:GO and someone says something that might offend me or might offend me, I'm not gonna just scream at them or just insult them. That's what like a lot of people do. Like when they get so offended on video games, like when I'm playing a match, like they just scream and insult them, and it's like that's not helping. Like if you're saying like I don't know, some people are sometimes ignorant where like if you try to talk to them about it and they just keep doing it and like after like you're calm to them about it, but like just being like uncool, like just being unprofessional about it. Not even unprofessional, but like just trying to do fight fire with fire when you're offended by it. Like it's not gonna help, you know.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, one example that wasn't really social media based, but was remember way back in the day when Chick-fil-A wouldn't serve gays or something like that?
really?
Yeah, there was some
yeah, that was the time
controversy.
we wouldn't do that.
Yeah, there was some because they're Christian. They're a Christian company, so supposedly they wouldn't serve gays or something. Like even something as extreme as that, where like it's almost a group of people being oppressed. Like even something like that, I don't think taking violent or crazy action helps anything. I think now it's probably resolved. I don't know how it got resolved, but I'm hoping however they did it.
I think it was they refused to hire gay people.
Oh, they refused to hire them?
Like it's really hard to it's really hard to like I guess vet customers.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that would be kind of hard. I don't know. Maybe.
Honestly, that's a really weird subject I don't want to go too far into.
No, but I'm just saying that as an example, like even something as extreme as that, like something that's something legit, like they were being pretty much oppressed, and that's totally wrong. But even I wouldn't condone like, people to be like, fuck Chick-fil-A and like, like that's non-productive.
Yeah. I think it's like really like I don't know, it's just so important, like it's almost more important, your response is more important to what's said, you know?
Yeah, and I mean it pretty much everything judges us, really. Everything is a lesson, has a lesson. So nothing will be perfect. You can't have this mindset that you can fix everything, but if you try to fix what you can, then it'll just help.
It's better to try or fix what you can, worry about what you can fix, but don't stress about what you can't change or where you have
But
to
not only
control.
that, the best way to fix some things is to fix yourself.
Yeah.
To make sure that you yourself are the best that you can be.
Yeah, that's tying back into what you were saying earlier about you calling yourself ignorant. Like I remember like hearing somewhere it's like you can try to save everybody or try to help everybody, but for you to do that, you need to make sure that all of you is good. Like you need to make sure you're happy, that you like that you're helped, that you're good before you try to help other people. Because like if you're trying, it's like blind leading the blind.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I got it now. Blind prophet.
The blind prophet. Yeah. I hope they really can't hear this TV in the background, because I can. It's fucking annoying.
I have a TV in the background too.
Dude,
You guys hear that?
honestly, if they made it this far into the podcast, like, just freaking just respect.
Oh, speaking of far into the podcast, we are 2 hours in.
Hour and 45 minutes.
Really? Hasn't felt that long.
It hasn't.
I'm looking at the time we started the call. I guess.
We
It's
started
7
like 40
hours.
minutes after.
Yeah, we started way before we started the actual podcast.
So yeah, we've
Did you
been in
get
the call.
tres
for 2 hours.
claps.
You know,
Clap,
you
clap,
gotta,
clap.
you gotta do it to him sometimes. You gotta clap on him.
You gotta clap on
You
him.
gotta clap. You gotta do it 3 times. It's gotta have a rhythm to it.
You gotta hit him with a 3-time. That was 2. That was 4.
Not even. There we go.
There you go. 3.
I was sticking my fingers with each one. I was like counting with my fingers, like.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I can't wait. I can't wait to play all the games coming out. Like the one that I'm probably most excited for now, because it's the closest, is Spider-Man.
Dude,
Because I've heard people read the prequel book. There's a prequel book, like a book for the game world before you play the game.
Uh-huh.
And they said that it was really cool, like the way that they made the game's world, and like it's
prequel.
kind of a more of like a mature Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
So I'm down for that. That sounds dope.
It does, because it's like you mostly think of Spider-Man like a goofy teenager, not really like mature.
Well, not just that, but also the villains. Like a lot of the villains are really goofy too.
That's true. Like clumsy.
So yeah. So
Yeah, like
if the villains are really dope, like I loved the Michael Keaton Vulture that they did for Homecoming. He was really dope.
yeah.
I liked him a lot. I liked his suit because it really looked like something somebody would wear today, rather than a freaking skin tight suit.
Yeah. Like,
Um,
what the hell?
So yeah.
Yeah.
And then the wings were like I think he used like Iron Man tech to make the wings rather than being
No, it was,
actual
like,
wings.
The tech from you remember from the first Avengers, like all the
Oh, the Chitauri,
Yeah.
the Chitauri tech.
yeah.
Really, he used
I
that?
think so.
Oh.
They had a lot of their tech.
Yeah, that's right. It looked cool. Like it looked man-made, like
Yeah.
Iron Man suit. So it looked cooler than the like. Obviously, the original Vulture is dope, but like this fit for a movie.
It's more modern.
Yeah, and his outfit looks very similar in the Spider-Man game. So I'm really excited to see what they do with that world and everything.
Yeah, I'm changing like I just posted like another gameplay today, but like I'm honestly just posting. I'm gonna change how I do. I'm gonna try to do quality over quantity. Like just posting the podcast like once a week, and like posting like highlights, but like the funny and the good ones. Like not just trying to get them up as much as possible, as fast as possible. And only time.
Oh.
Huh?
Well, that's what Joe Rogan does. Is he like cuts certain parts that way they're not like his full 3 hour. He cuts like maybe a 20 or 30 minute segment. That way you could listen to that, like a certain topic. That'd be cool.
Like you just cut it up.
Yeah, just cut it up, release separate segments on like what we talk about.
I could do that, huh?
Yeah.
Decent idea.
Yeah, let's try that. I'll try it. Actually.
Sorry, I fell asleep through half of it.
Yeah, we'll just cut that.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
cut that.
No one will remember that.
Oof.
Damn, some root beer sounds good. God damn it.
I know. Fudge, man. Just add a wee bit of salt to it.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit of salt.
I'll punch you, man. Square in the jaw, Will.
It'll taste nothing but salt.
Dude, I'm pretty salty right now.
No ketchup, just sauce. Real
Just
sauce.
Roast.
But yeah, it actually
That
sounds like a
doesn't-
decent idea because like since we talked about a lot of things, it could be like, hey, part 1 gaming topic. Hey, part 1 of I don't know.
No, not even just part 1 or part 2, or just a segment. Just like what it like. So if you wanted to do like our when we were talking about James Gunn, if you wanted to make that like a full segment, then it'd be like a 20-30 minute segment rather than the full 2-hour podcast. That way it's easier for some people if they don't want to listen to the full. Well, however long it was, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
Like, yeah, just an example. Like, rather than the full 2-hour podcast, we have like little segments. That way, it's easier. Like, if somebody doesn't want to watch or listen to the full 2 hours, just boom,
Make it
there you
easier
go.
to watch,
Talk about,
basically, or listen to.
Yeah.
Listen to.
and it'd probably be easier to find too. Like, okay, so we talk about the choice or the James Gunn. Like, if you put certain topics or hashtags or whatever, it'd be easier to find and it'd be easier for them to watch because it's a more digestible time period.
It's more distinguishable of like what people are looking for.
Yeah. But again, you could release the whole podcast and even like at the end of it, like maybe put a voiceover like, hey, this was part of our full podcast. If you the links down below if you'd like to listen to the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I was thinking like I would like render out the
Or even in the beginning, that way they know beforehand. They're like, hey, this is a section of our podcast. Enjoy. Link will be in the description for the full podcast.
Should I put the full out? Should I put the full one first, then put the segments?
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually not a bad idea. Like I'm like, oh yeah, beautiful.
Mwah. Bonita.
Bonita. Bueno.
Bellissimo.
You okay? Getting possessed over there?
A little bit.
He's possessed. Let me see if I can find that link for the Cyberpunk.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm traveling so much this year, man. It's crazy.
Where else are you going?
Seattle, Big Bear, New York.
You're going to New York?
Yeah, I think so.
Dude, I've always wanted to go to New York.
New York City.
Try some fucking cannolis, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to try a few cannolis, have some real marinara.
Some real
Yeah.
Okay, Bostonian.
Huh?
That's it's Bostonian accent there.
Bostonian.
Estonian.
Yeah, Boston.
Oh, shit. I guess I am a little bit Bostonian.
I think you just
I thought I was Italian.
I think you just been exposed.
I you know what? I thought I was being a real fucking Italian. All right, I'm sorry.
And you still being a
You
Bostonian.
know, I grew up in fucking Manhattan. All right.
All right.
I had to fucking cross, the fucking bridge, one of those bridges. I'd walk to the Bronx every morning.
It's freaking stupid.
But you're over here telling me I'm Boston.
Boston.
I'm Bostonian.
Bostonian.
I'm a fucking Irishman.
Yeah, it's an Irish accent, dude. It's pretty good. It's also a French accent.
You telling me I got red curly hair or something?
I was going with orange, but that works
I'm over
too.
here. I'm over here with greased black hair.
What are you, American now?
It's a Greek accent. I don't even know what a Greek accent sounds like.
Shit, I don't even know either. Because every fucking Greek movie that they make, they're using British accents.
Really?
Yeah, like
Like
all
Julius Caesar sounds like Winston Churchill or something.
Yeah, they got fucking these British actors, and that's what pissed me off about what do you call it? The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. You got the freaking Germans speaking in British accents when the British are their enemy.
Yeah.
Come on,
It's just
dude.
because the British accent sounds villainous. And so it's like
no. What they say is that the Queen's English is more easier to understand. So if you had them actually speaking with like Deutsch accents or something, like they would be harder to understand. But you have a movie like Schindler's List where
do freaking subtitles.
yeah, exactly. But you have a movie like Schindler's List where Liam Neeson, he pretty much had like a Deutsch accent, and even Ben Kingsley, he had a Polish accent. and they were fine. Like I could understand it.
I actually like that movie. It was a good movie.
That's a fucking beautiful movie.
Beautiful.
I don't care what anybody says. That movie is gorgeous. All right, don't tell me any differently. You know, I'm gonna watch that movie every day.
You're reminding,
all right?
you're reminding me of from that one guy from the video game A Way Out. Dude, that game is so good. Oh my god.
A Way Out.
Dude. Oh, that was a choice-based game. Oh my god.
A Way Out. Which one was that?
That was with the two prisoners. Where they had to escape.
That's
that's
different from Telltale choice.
Oh yeah, way different, but like still, you had a choice.
That game was ambitious because nobody freaking plays couch co-op anymore.
That game was awesome.
Yeah, but that wasn't couch co-op where like you had to be there. Like you could online co-op that too.
Yeah, but you had to be with another person. You couldn't.
You had to be. Yeah. Okay.
No, it had to be someone on your friends list.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, but like I was thinking it was like actual couch co-op. Like you have to have the other controller there or something.
Nah.
No, you could, but you don't have to.
Like, goddamn, that's crazy. And when you played co-op with somebody else, did you still have split screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that to me was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about that.
No, it's good because like some of the missions, like it's like requires coordination and like it helps seeing what the other person can do, seeing what the other person.
Oh, really?
Doing. Yeah.
Huh. I guess, yeah. Rather than being like 1, 2, 3, you can actually see them do it.
Wait, do what? Like the actions?
Yeah, like if you're like, all right, I'm gonna do this real quick.
Yeah.
On the count of 3, like if you see them actually go, like you have more time coordination.
Yeah,
and
like
seeing,
what's it called? Like when you were trying to sneak past the nurse, right? Like one of you would be distracting the nurse while the other one would be sneaking around, and you could see if the nurse you could see if the nurse is looking at you through the other player's perspective.
Yeah, the internet, the cutscenes also were interactive.
They were dope. Like the fact that you could be in a
Play through
gameplay and your other guy could be in a cinematic. That's dope.
Yeah, you could watch your teammate going through a cinematic, but also like it's in game. Like you're not watching it from the perspective of it being cinematic on your side of the screen. You're watching them actually like playing through it.
That
like,
would suck for trailers. Yeah, I remember you wanted me to play that with you, but I don't know what happened.
Wow, you fake Irish mother American.
Yeah, I'm a fake Irish. I'm a fake Irishman. I don't know why every time I try to do a New York accent, it always changes.
I'm sorry, I'm texting.
Texting during a podcast?
Yes,
How unprofessional of
These
you.
searches will have consequences.
It would be more acceptable if you fell asleep, but you're texting.
Why can't you be more responsible and fall asleep like me?
Why not just be more responsible? Texting.
It's time to grow up and be an adult.
Be an adult. I'm gonna email you how you offended me by saying that.
Be an adult?
Whatever.
No, texting. He was texting.
I offended you?
I
offended me, yeah. So I'm gonna email you.
Telling him to be an adult. Someone screaming about Hannah Montana?
Someone screaming about cleaning their room up? Ooh.
This is my last time.
Alright, I think we gotta end the podcast.
I'm gonna have my belt. Do you understand me or not? I also need your basket full of clothes if they're ready to do so we can sort them out.
Good segment.
We listened to the beginning of a homicide, so we need to end this.
Can we get 10,000 likes to save this homicide?
Hello, police. I just witnessed a homicide.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the police knocking
Really
on the door.
angry black
We can
woman
talk to you.
murdered someone.
Get it.
You go by the online handle of the Blind Prophet. Yeah.
What did you see on the night of Tuesday, August 15th? what did you see? Like he emphasizes it. No, I was just thinking of like a random
random day.
Like I didn't want to like ruin the joke, so I just like thought of a random day.
It's February.
Fabergé.
There's Chairman there. I saw it on Williamshire. Who the hell did he go paintballing with, dude?
I don't know. Dude, like yesterday was funny. Like on his Instagram story, right? He's like, "Yeah, I'm going paintballing," and then the next like slide is him. Like you see it. Like it's a picture of him getting headshotted by a paintball.
Hmm.
You know, the timing must have been really nice. If he like took a picture, like it took a selfie as a paintball.
I think
Sadly.
that's literally what happened.
Yeah, I remember when we went.
Really?
I got shot in the what would have been my eye, but it was like the visor.
But my eye was a bit lower that day on the left side. It like moved a little.
Yeah, I was able to shapeshift.
Yeah, I moved the eye downward a bit, and it just hit me on the forehead.
No, but what was crazy about that is so I was taking cover behind this like little car, and it was their big match. It was like 40 people on each team, and I was taking cover behind this car. I barely pop up to take a glimpse of the little field, and whoops, I got a freaking shot in the eye. So I'm like, "Hit," and I gotta walk off the field. Hit.
I'd like
Gotta put
to
my hand
imagine
up.
that's the sound you made.
Yeah. Hit. That's what you have to say. You have to say
it's like a
hit.
jumping. No, like the way you said it sounded like what a video game character would say when he jumps.
Oh. Or like a Mortal Kombat.
Finish it. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Dude, that's funny.
That was fun though. We should try to go freaking either airsoft. I've always wanted to get into airsoft.
Dude, I want to get into airsoft so badly, dude. I've been
Yeah,
wanting
let's
to
do
do that
it.
for such a
We'll
long
do
time.
we'll do airsoft podcast.
Hell yeah, brother. We'll bring the laptop. Bro, the laptop will be attached to
Just
my
in the
back.
middle, just in the middle of the field. Just in, you hear
I'll sit over here not having.
Comment, subscribe.
Smash that like button like you would my.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm down to do airsoft, but you already know what gun I'm gonna get.
Which one?
Come on, we could guess.
An op.
Yeah, it's for sure gonna be a sniper rifle.
I was gonna say like the L96 or something.
Just anything that's a bolt action sniper rifle, I want it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I got like a SMG if I were to do that.
I saw
people are
on
so,
YouTube.
Like there's so many rules on airsoft now because of like how, dude, like I was watching these airsoft like against cheaters and stuff or whatever. This man had a sound distraction grenade. Like he threw a freaking grenade and had a phone attached to it. It was blasting loud. He just threw it at a dude and
What?
yeah, you see, but it didn't count, and he lied because he was like, "Oh, it didn't count as a distraction device." I'm like, but that's kind of dope. But
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played airsoft yet, but I would feel like a sniper would be more beneficial for like those outdoor ranges where it's like acres of land that you're playing on. But I don't know where any of those are over here. We'd have to do like one of the indoor ranges or something. So, but what I was gonna say is I saw on YouTube there was this guy. He was reviewing this fucking rifle. I forget the name of the rifle. I should know it.
I want to get like good at aiming before I actually go against like other people though.
Oh yeah. Well, I was gonna say this guy was he was reviewing. You've seen Aliens, right?
The movie?
Yeah, with what do you call it? Sigourney Weaver, Bill
I
Paxton.
think so. Like they made a video game about it, right?
Yeah.
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 You remember the rifle from that game?
What is it called?
I don't remember.
Yeah, honestly, if you probably told me the name, I could probably be like, oh yeah.
I'll try to send a picture, but they made a full-on replica that you could use as an airsoft gun, and it has a little LED display for like how much ammo you have whenever you shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I was like nerding out so hard because I used to watch that movie a lot when I was younger. I never really liked the first Alien, but I loved the second one, Aliens.
And like on the subject of like airsoft, like dude, I think it's like really expensive to get into it, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You're gonna be spending all that money on gear like to protect yourself. You don't have to get super flashy, but at least something like a vest and eyewear and all that, and then your gun. Depending on what you get, like an AEG or a gas or something, you're gonna be paying for gas, and then for your AEG, I think you just have to recharge the battery and then maybe replace the battery if it gets too
battery
old or
for
something.
what? Again, I had my headphones off.
An AEG, airsoft electric. I think it's automated electric gun or something like that.
Uh-huh.
AEG. That they use a battery for that,
Gotcha.
and you just recharge it, and then you might have to replace it or replace certain components to make it either faster or more powerful.
Yeah, cause like I heard
Um,
like all assault rifles like have the same fire rate, like all of them. Like if there's nothing special about it and you buy it like stock, like all of them have the same exact fire rate.
yeah, I don't know. You maybe just gotta mess with the hop up or
Yeah,
something.
or something. Cause
But
like I was watching like this video, like this guy he was like talking about the most annoying questions he gets, right? And then like people like ask him like how fast does this gun shoot for like 20 different guns, and he'll tell them exactly the same answer.
hmm,
So I think
yeah,
it's a lot of customization to get the edge on people.
I think for right now, I'd probably want like a SMG, like a little close quarters gun, like the one that's really dope, but it's expensive is the Vector. That's like almost $500.
Like how I see me
Um,
like with the sniper rifle and like having an SMG or some kind of gun, like you know like how they have like I don't know like I'm not like it's in my head, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like strapped to like somewhere around them and it's just hanging on their side and like they can just pull it up
hmm,
real quick. You get what I'm saying?
like with a sling.
Yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
It's like it's hanging on their side and then like they can just like easily just like put down their gun and like it's hanging and like just lift up the other one. I don't know how to describe it, but like it's in my head. Like I've seen it before. I'm not describing it very well.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what you're talking about now, but that's for a sniper.
It's like for it's like I've seen it like okay, so say you had an assault rifle, you had a pistol, right? So say
Yeah.
like you ran out of ammo on your assault rifle, like say like you can like just drop it to your side, like slowly like put it, and it would just be hanging on your side, and you can pull out the pistol. Like it wouldn't be like attached to something, but it'd just be like dangling on your side.
Oh yeah, it's just a sling.
Yeah,
That's a
I would
sling.
want that.
It's yeah, yeah. There should be like little what do you call it? Little like loops on the guns, like almost like a guitar hanger, like kind of a guitar, like how the guitars have the bolts. There should be little like things on the stock and then like the under barrel for you to attach that sling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. But for me, like since a lot of these places are indoor ranges, like I'd probably just go with the SMG. That way, it's like easier, lighter, close
Well,
quarters
if we're
type
going
of thing.
indoors, I don't want to use a sniper rifle. What the hell?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's pretty much like all we have out here, though. I think pretty much we don't have like full on ranges.
Yeah.
I'd have to
Well,
look into it.
I've gone paintballing once out here, and we have a little forest area sectioned off in this area. So like if you can find something like that, like a forest type area.
Yeah,
Dude, honestly,
yeah,
if we had,
that'd be
if
dope.
we had like if we got into airsoft and we had like a lot of gear, like it was something that we did regularly, not just a one-time thing, I would be down to travel somewhere that had like a forest area.
I'm getting a predator mask. I can't
Bro,
do anything
I know,
other
like
than
100%, I am down to get into airsoft.
yeah. Even if I don't get into airsoft, I'm getting a predator mask.
Bro, just when and where I'm down. Like I preferably, I would prefer to get into it when I've actually like saved money from my job, so I can actually get stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. No
It's
doubt. I feel you.
expensive, like dude, like it's like to have like everything you would want, like from guns, ammo, like freaking vest, helmet. It's in the thousands, pretty sure.
Well, a lot of that comes with time, though. Like you don't need all of that right off the bat.
Yeah.
Like, you
It's
know,
kind of
you don't want
like
to be.
it's like some
tanking.
RPG stuff. You know, you work your way up.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, like I think probably primarily what I'd want before I go onto a full range is like the gun. Obviously, that way I don't have to rent one.
Then you get used to it.
I'll just have to look at the rules for the local ranges and see like what they require as far as their specifications. Something to protect my, upper body. Some heavy pants. And then just ammo. Like, oh, and then eyewear protection.
Yeah.
So that would probably be like at the most. The gun would be probably the most expensive, depending on what I get, like from $150 to $300 maybe for an SMG. And then pants would be easy to find, like just some hardcore heavy duty. The vest, and then yeah, I'm guessing maybe around like six to $800.
Easy.
Yeah, easy, bro. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Why don't I just bring in the whole the sled while I'm at it?
Bro, just like, dude.
I'll just push you. I'll push you. You could go prone.
Yes.
I'll push you, and you just take everyone out.
Dude, you're just gliding across the field, and they can't.
I'm gonna do a guitar slide. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. It's easy. We won. We've already won.
Can't
We don't
hit
even
us,
need
but
to
we can
play.
hit you for some
We don't
reason.
need we don't need to play. We've already won.
Like just look at them.
They're
They
scared.
see the slide, and they're like,
I'm
oh, I
scared.
don't know.
They see the etching on my gun. It says profit. They'll be like, oh my god.
Dude, honestly, if I
blind.
could spray paint a skin on my gun, I'd do that. You probably could, just like honestly, like on your
Yeah,
own.
you probably could,
I'm
just as long as it still has the orange barrel.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like I'm spray painting a CS:GO skin on my gun. I don't care.
Oh, you know what you should do? You should get like one of those styrofoam knives or the flexible knives and spray paint like a little CS:GO skin on.
Dude, I'm gonna do it.
That would be sick. Again, you'd have to research the specifications and requirements that the range would allow you to do.
Some ranges allow you to get knife kills, and I'm pretty sure some don't.
Yeah, I have no idea. If I could do it, I'd bring a tomahawk, dude, like a little
When
styrofoam
I was
tomahawk.
younger,
Oh
like
my
in
god.
middle school, dude, like when I was really into the idea of airsoft, but I was a broke boy and had no job and still don't have a job and still a broke boy. I watched a bunch of videos. Like they have airsoft claymore, dude. They have an airsoft sentry gun, dude, like a turret. Like some dude attached his like he got a laptop and it was like in a briefcase. He opened it and then like he plugged it up to like this airsoft gun that had a turning thing, and then like it has no delay when it sees somebody. Like it has like instant reaction time.
Oh my god.
It's like
That sounds scary.
I'm like, dude, like like that's a banger.
That's a slapper.
That's a slap on the knee.
That's a clapper.
That's a flapper.
That's a fapper.
That's a dapper.
And this
That's a
napper.
dapper fellow.
Yeah, I would love to get into it.
Dude, like maybe sometime in the future, like when we have like stable money, you know, not just like as soon as we have enough. I'm trying to save, you feel?
Yeah.
I'm trying to save so I can go to Lucky Landing, you know?
Lucky landing.
Yeah.
Get all those chests.
Yeah.
Open all those chests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel you.
Pick up the loot.
Yeah, dude. I hear Lucky Landing is a pretty good place to live.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, like, real talk. Like, that's probably been our best
That is our
drop
best
area.
spot, without a doubt. There's
Yeah.
no doubt in my mind. Like even when there's like a lot of people that are clearly better than us, we still win.
I was
Yeah.
I was going on the joke like it was a real place. I didn't know you guys actually. Which is fine. I like playing
It's a code name. It's a Fortnite drop, and it's a. Real
I don't
place for us.
play it often. People don't play it with me.
Dude, like you
Let's
missed it
play
earlier,
it.
Like what's it called?
If you have it downloaded, I'll play it with you right now.
Like what,
I have
like,
it.
what's
I have it
called?
on.
Like I
Computer,
was
dude.
saying, like, dude, the dream Fortnite video, us three and Speed on his Nintendo Switch.
Let's do it.
Fudge. We probably have to do, like if it would be us four, it'd probably have to be next week because Thursday, Salty's gonna be gone and I'm gonna be gone on Friday.
Whenever. Let me know. We'll do it.
I'm willing to just play some Fortnite with you guys right now if you want.
Do you have it downloaded? Marcus?
Oh, no, I don't even have the client downloaded. It took up all my memory.
Ooh. Oof.
Why not? It's a hard yikes from me.
A hard nope. Yeah, I could play it. We could do duos.
I haven't played it in forever though.
What are you playing on?
PC.
Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let's I'm down.
Yeah, I think we should conclude the podcast right here.
Yeah, oh shit. Yeah, if you want.
Yeah, dude.
Actually, I didn't know it's still going, to be honest.
Yeah. 2 hours and 14 minutes, dude.
But it was good though.
It was really
We
good.
talked.
It was really good. Thank you, guys.
I wouldn't know.
He said I wouldn't know. You were only gone for 10 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So like we were here for 2 hours and 14 minutes. You were here for 2 hours and 4 minutes. Technically.
Yeah, that's still a long time.
Yeah.
You still got a lot of talking
You
in.
still got the grinding in, you know.
The grind.
Alright.
Toca the walk.
Thank you guys so much for watching the MortalTales podcast. Thank special thank you to the Blind Prophet and Salty Rootbeer for showing up to my podcast. You will definitely see them in future episodes. This will be split into future segments. And if you have made it this far, thank you so much. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. This podcast will be up on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you're listening from. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are having a beautiful day. Say bye, guys.
Wait. Hold on. I got one last message. It's been 2 hours and 14 minutes, you said?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
So, okay, so just I would like to urge our listeners to get some water if they haven't already.
Yeah, and brush your teeth. Your mouth smell.
I'm over here trying to look out for people's hydration, and he's like, "Your mouth stinks."
I'm looking out for people's hygiene.
Oh boy. Yeah. Hope to see you guys on the next one. Let's get it. Bye.
Brush your teeth. Get the girls.
Get the girls.
That's all it takes.
Clean teeth.
It's me and